Hey everyone, welcome back to another TxePrep Introduction to Algebra video. And in this video, we're going to try to combine these two expressions together. So, first, we're going to notice the denominators, and we see that they're fractions. So this must have something to do with the fractions and the distribution and the factoring that we've been talking about in the past few videos. So let's first try that. And before we start, let's try to remember that when we try to combine fractions, what we do is we want to make the denominator the same. And the way to make the denominator the same is to multiply both the numerator and the denominator of one of the terms by the denominator of the other term. So this will become as follows. So we're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the 3y and we can do that because this is just essentially just 1. And it's okay to multiply anything by 1 because anything by 1 times 1 is just itself. And on this side, we're going to multiply this denominator. So it's going to be 5y squared divided by 5y squared. Okay, seems alright for now. So remember how we multiply numerator and numerator? Well, all we have to do is just multiply the numerator here and the numerator there. So 5y squared times 4 is just going to be 20y squared divided by, when we multiply these together, it's going to be 5 times 3, 15 times y squared times y. And by the product rule, we know that that's just going to be simply y to the power of 2 plus 1, because this is just a 1 power over here, and that's just going to be equal to a y cubed. So it's going to be 15y cubed. Minus, what we're going to do here is now we're going to distribute, because this part is essentially the same thing as 3y times 5 minus y divided by 5y squared times 3y. And we've already solved for the denominator over here. So it's just going to be 15y cubed. And that's a good sign because now we know that we can just straight out combine these fractions. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to distribute. So 3y times 5, that's going to be equal to 15y. And 3y minus y is going to be equal to minus 3y squared. Okay, so now we're just ready to combine these together. So this is going to give us 20y squared minus, in parentheses, because this is subtracting the whole numerator over here, 15y minus 3y squared. And since we distribute the property parentheses, this is just going to be equal to minus, as we have a plus, and we can get rid of the parentheses over here, divided by 15y cubed. And now it's time to combine the numerator based on like terms. So immediately see that the y squared here and the y squared here are like terms. So what's 20y squared plus 3y squared? Well, that's just going to be equal to 23y squared. So that's what we write. And now what we're going to do is we're going to factor out the numerator, and we're going to see what happens after that. So when we factor out the numerator, we find that the greatest common divisor of this term and this term over here is simply just y, because 23 and 15 have nothing in common, and this is simply just y to the first. So when we divide 23y squared by y, that's going to give us just 23y, and negative 15y divided by y is simply just negative 15 divided by 15 times y cubed. So here's one more thing to note, that when we distribute this back in, we get back what was the original expression over here, and then there's also a y being multiplied over here and a y being divided over here. And we know by the quotient rule that this is simply just going to be the same thing as y to the power of 1 minus 3, which is y to the power of negative 2. So we're going to remove this y, and this is going to become y to the power of negative 2. And since it's a negative 2, we're just going to flip it down to the denominator, and this is going to be the same thing as 23y minus 15 divided by 15y squared. And that is our final answer for solving this expression over here. Thank you.